Okay, so here's the plan. It's early fall here in Colorado, and I'm gonna be hiking back to a really beautiful lake for the next 2 nights. I'm gonna be surrounded by 14,000 foot peaks, some of the tallest peaks in all of Colorado. It's gonna be very cold this week. I'm gonna be trying to extend the season out for my gear before I bust into my winter kit, and hopefully helping you guys if you wanna be doing the same thing. I think this is gonna be really good, really exciting. Let's get after it. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful out here. Oh, I just got my first glimpse of the basin that I'm going up into. So those are some mighty, mighty mountains here in Colorado. These peaks are honestly so impressive. And I love that I'm getting to be back here kind of in the fall. So, what's this? What the? Coors Light can. Hey, tick. What the? The resemblance is uncanny. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I've been lying to you. This peak back here, Wilson Peak, is one of the most famous visible peaks in the world. Most people probably don't even know it. It is the same peak that's on the Coors Light can. Here's my little secret. I am planning on actually climbing Wilson Peak, the Coors Light Peak. One other little secret is the view of the Coors Mountain here is from the other side. I feel like I've really lied to you a lot in the last 3 minutes of this video, but so I do apologize. I'm sorry about that. My secret mission for this trip is to climb Wilson Peak. So I'll be moving across some terrain where falling is not an option. I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. All right, here we go. Good day for the adventure hat. So right along this tree, there's a bunch of big fir caught in the bark. So as some big animals are moving through here, they're losing their fur on this tree. That lends the question, what animal? There are bear in this region of Colorado, of course. So, be on the lookout. Really climbing here at 10,600 feet. I feel it. So when I didn't have my camera gear, I was at 25 and a half pounds. I always carried 12 pounds of camera gear, a little bit extra with helmet, some climbing gloves, and water. So now I think I'm over about 40, 41, 42 pounds, probably 40. It's hard to climb carrying that much weight. At least I feel better than when I was in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness carrying 50. That was rough. Really getting up into some nice aspens here. And now that I'm higher, the colors are really starting to change a lot more. Got some nice light yellow. The green is turning. Some of these aspen even have really nice orange in them. It's so pretty to get out here for the changing of the seasons. I just love it so much. Well, I've made it to Navajo Lake, and this is my destination for today. And you can really see some of the just amazing terrain that's surrounding Navajo Lake. Mount Wilson is up that way. Kind of hard to see from here, but you've got this just giant red face of chossy, crumbly rock. In the back, that pointy peak is Gladstone. That's not even the tallest one. And you can't see the one that I'm gonna try to climb tomorrow, which is back behind, invisible at the moment. And just looking at Gladstone, which is shorter than the one I plan on climbing, is, kind of makes me a little nervous. That's a big boy. Just got into camp here and taking a look at my data here that Onyx was tracking. Did 5.6 miles in 2547, 2,547 feet of elevation gain. I'm kind of worked, and honestly, I think it's just because the altitude. Like, I'm literally camping at 11,200 feet. So first things I do when I get into camp, I wanted to pull these big boots off. These are not the most comfortable hiking boots, but these are what I wanted to be up on the mountain climbing in. And so I do have some camp shoes, just my bedrock sandals. It's very nice to have these here. Pulled out my camp chair again. Now that I'm over 40, I used to not be a camp chair user, but have definitely become an advocate for carrying a camp chair. It's just so much nicer to be hanging around camp, sitting down. I'm gonna set up camp. I wanna show you guys my gear that I have, because I'm backpacking with like 3-season gear, so like 15-degree sleeping bags and my normal stuff that I'd use all through the summer. Except it's going to be very cold tonight and the next night too, I think. I've got some things that I think are going to help be comfortable. And so if you have like your 3-season kit, but you want to be camping in temperatures that are colder than mostly what it can really handle, there's some things that you can do. And one of those things I'm doing right now, I'm just eating peanut butter. So having like fatty content is good. Keep your nutrition levels up. I'm going to be resting today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be climbing Wilson Peak. There's a lot of the 14ers that are just hike ups, where you just are hiking up on top. And this one is considered class 3. So it's in between hiking and climbing. You are scrambling or using 4 points of contact, but you don't necessarily need to be like on a rope and on a team or something like that. So one of my last minute changes that I decided on was to go for this really small and minimalistic backup foam pad. The reason being was the Z-Lite kind of style accordion foam mattress was just so big that after I got everything else in, it barely fit. And then when I added my camera equipment in, it didn't fit at all. So I did want to have something that will partner with my mattress. This is very minimal, and this won't really do much if I do have a failure. So this is a 4.8 R-value mattress, and this is probably like less than 1. But what's cool is that R-value is accumulative. Like, you can add stuff together to get increased R-value. So I opted last minute to swap out my closed cell foam pad, my like Z-Lite accordion style one, for this, just because I was running out of room. And I did want to bring my Z-Lite just to have something as a backup, but also to add some extra R value into my sleeping mattress. And that's something that's really easy to use. The one that I got was like $25. Actually, it wasn't a Z-Lite, it's from Walmart. And it was a little bit bulkier. If you just get a regular mattress that maybe has like a 3.8 R value or a 4 R value, you can add about 2 by getting a closed cell foam mattress that are pretty inexpensive, and throwing that underneath your mattress, and then you have a much warmer bed to lay on. This is the new Zenbivy ultralight mattress that came out earlier this year, and this has been one of my favorite mattresses. It's very lightweight, it's very small. You can see how small it was. It's about half the size of some comparable mattresses that are from like a year ago. This is still expensive, but it's like right in line with pretty much all the other ones that are in the same category. So the Nemos, the Big Agneses, they're all right at the same price point. Rocking the Sea to Summit Ascent sleeping bag. Something that's good to look at on most any sleeping bag, generally most of them will have right here at the opening the information about the sleeping bag. So this one, you've got the weight of the bag, which is 2 pounds, 4 ounces. You've got the comfort rating, which is 29 degrees Fahrenheit, and the lower limit, which is 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And just in case you're wondering, this is generally considered like, oh, it's a 15-degree bag. And yes, that's true. But if your temperature actually hits 15 degrees, you're going to feel quite cold. And the comfort rating, so 29 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius, negative 2 degrees Celsius, is the comfort rating. So anywhere down to that temperature, you'll be comfortable. You'll be sleeping great. You're pretty much going to be oblivious to the outside temperatures. But when it hits 15, that's where it's giving you the rating where you can sleep. You can sleep fitfully is the way I describe it. You'll be feeling the cold. If it's 15 degrees out, you're really going to be feeling that. And actually out here tonight, I think it's going to be in the teens. So I think it's going to be quite cold. So I brought one other thing to beef up my cold temperature rating on the bag. And this is something that you can do as well. This is a liner. And I don't often bring liners because I often, in a situation like this, I probably would have brought my 0 degree sleeping bag, but I wanted to show a few ways that people can take what their normal kit is and just supplement it so that it will work for a bigger spectrum, a bigger swing of temperatures, a longer duration throughout the year. And one of the most simple things that you can do is get a liner. Basically it adds like about 10 degrees of comfort. So if it does get down into the teens, I'm going to be much more comfortable than certainly without it. And I've also got something that I've used for many years. This is the Sea to Summit Eros down pillow. And Sea to Summit is sponsoring this trip in this video. And I'm very excited to partner with them on this trip because I think it's really important for people to be able to understand how to get more out of the gear that they have. And it's not always about just buying the 0 degree sleeping bag or the negative 20 degree sleeping bag. Yeah, if you can afford those things, that's amazing. What's really cool is being able to extend your gear, get more use out of what the gear you already own. And Sea to Summit's been making great gear for a long time. I've used a lot of Sea to Summit gear in my past. And when they reached out with a sponsorship, I was like, absolutely, I want to do that. They make great sleeping bags. They make great tents. They make a lot of great things. And so I'm excited to partner with them on this video. So thanks to Sea to Summit for sending me out to Colorado to come and hike in this amazing place. It's 4:30. It's way too early to make dinner, but I did bring some ramen. So I think I'm gonna make a snack. All right, so something I do like to backpack with is some ramen. And I got some fancy ramen. This is vegetarian kimchi ramen from Mike's Mighty Good Craft Ramen. Picked this up at Whole Foods and I'm excited. So whenever I get into camp, like with a couple hours to spare, I like to be able to make something, especially when it's gonna be cool out, make a hot soup or something like that. So I'm excited to cook this up. Bon appetit. It's a nice snack. So if you were around for my last video, this thing sprung a leak. And I was very excited about the Nocvecto bag, but it sprung a leak. So I did apply some seam seal, which is like almost like a rubber cement type thing, to it. And I'm trying to see if that did the trick, if that plugged it up, or if it's gonna ultimately just leak again. This filter is slower than I thought. So there's this marmot that's just going nuts up in the rocks over there. This would be a perfect time to bust out my David Attenborough impersonation.
Here, in the high alpine of the Colorado Plateau, a yellow-bellied marmot makes its home amongst the broken boulders of the crumbling Rockies. These portly fellows are on their hunt for their final feast of the season, before they hibernate to stave off the long doldrums of winter. marmots appear to be what you get if you cross a brown bear, a squirrel, and a sack of potatoes. Not to be confused with their brethren to the east, the groundhog, the woodchuck, or the whistle pig. These marmots are highly social, using their high-pitched calls to communicate across the crags of the American West.
So I just lost the last bit of light that was shining up on these really cool red rock field up here. There's been a marmot this way that's just been going nuts for so long. It's kind of been wild. I tried to get some shots. It eventually got scared. I got kind of close, and then it ran away. So you can see a little bit behind me there on that left side of the ridge. That's actually my path. I'm going to be going up that left side. And then the mountain, the peak, is actually invisible right now, or it's not visible from here. So I'll probably start really early. I'm going to probably start at right around dawn and get cracking. There's a faint trail that you can just see that moves its way over across that talus slope. And it's just always a good idea if you're going up to peaks and summits to start early and give yourself plenty of time and be down before the afternoon. The reason being is that that's when afternoon storms tend to develop. And in case something goes wrong, limited amount of time to figure out a rescue or figure out a way off the mountain. I'll be getting an early crack on things, and then I will plan on coming back and spending another night here. At least that's my plan. Temperature has definitely dropped. I think it's going to be a pretty chilly one tonight. So I'm now fully in the shade, and temperature's dropping. So when that happens, I definitely recommend before you start feeling cold, put your long johns on. Do it early, and you'll save yourself some grief from doing it when you're actually cold. And then once you're actually cold, it's really 10 times harder to warm up. So, gonna throw on my long johns. Hey, can I get some privacy, please? Well, I feel a lot warmer already, and as it's certainly going to get a lot colder. It's 6 o'clock, sundown's before 8. I have a rule that I try to stay up at least till 8 o'clock. I might start making dinner. Those who know me know I love these pinnacle foods. Tonight, going for a Thai peanut curry. This is a good one. I thought I had a temperature gauge on my watch, but it turns out that I don't. So I don't actually have a way of telling you exactly what the temperature is, which I'm pretty bummed about because I really wanted to have a real it got down to 17 degrees or it got down to 13. Whatever it is, I would really have liked to have said specifically what it is. A couple of videos ago, I talked about how Rainer and Miranda Goes Outside, if you don't know them, other YouTube channel, they always time their food, and I asked for comments on what you guys do. And I was relieved to see that the vast majority of you are less similar to me. And I thought that there was some good points where people would say oh, well, if it's a new meal, something I'm not familiar with, I'll follow the directions to the T. And if it's something that I've made in the past, then just wing it. And I think that actually makes a lot of sense because these I'm so familiar with. I don't need to go by the directions anymore. But what I would say is that I often find that most backpacking meals overestimate how much water they require. And so I usually like to add a little bit less, let it sit for a while, and usually that's pretty good. I felt validated. There were a few oddballs out there who were like, nope, I'm the type of person who will measure specifically and put a timer on. lot of good veggies in there. If you're going into high altitudes too, I definitely recommend using one of these rehydration bags. Keep that heat in. Definitely helps it rehydrate a little bit more efficiently. Whew. It's gotten cold, especially since I'm just sitting here not eating hot food. Open. Oh, that looks good. After I plow this down, try to eat a little bit slow. I think I'm gonna need to crawl into the tent. It's cold out here. And then I'm gonna get up early. I'm really excited about today. Still got a little nerves about it. It's unsafe. I'll turn around. I'm up over 13,000 feet now. I can feel that altitude. I have to slow down just a little bit. Got to descend down that. Woo! I won't do anything dumb. I'm gonna put the camera away. All right. All right. I'm feeling thoroughly worked, and I've got to do a better job of rehydrating, and I also just like didn't eat much today, so feeling very hungry. This is like I've been grazing on snacks for 2 hours. Then I'm doing this. Then I'll probably snack some more, and then I'm gonna make dinner. Then I'll probably snack on my desserts, and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's gonna be great. Is it wrong that I'm already looking forward to bed? I'm so tired. It's only 5:15, and I'm like trying my hardest not to go lay down and fall asleep. Today worked me real good. I couldn't help it. Decided to just crawl in. There's just been a consistent steady wind, so I've just been laying down, being cozy, and got a really cozy setup here, so it it feels right. Ooh. The light just went crazy over there. I just came out of my tent, and it was pretty gray, and it's just been windy and cold, and then all of a sudden, the light just like got real nice. And yeah, it just broke through. Not really sure, maybe we're gonna have a cool sunset tonight, but it's been pretty gray since this afternoon. Motivation to stay up and stay out of my tent. But the call is strong. That was special. I literally just crawled out of my tent after kind of just resting, and the light immediately turned from like this flat gray, kind of boring, to rich red colors popping off in the sky. This whole back bowl illuminated deep red. So cool. Reflection on the water was spectacular. So, note to self, spend more time outside of my tent. Lights finally disappearing. Now I'm gonna make some dinner. It was a hard day. Yeah, it just feels like it's been a while since I've challenged myself on a mission like that. Like, I've done a lot of hiking. I think that I've become more conservative in many ways over the last 5 to 10 years. Part of it is just being like, my job has been to hike, and I haven't wanted to get an injury, whether it's climbing or skiing or something like that. And so I've just become, I think, a little bit more like hesitant to push myself in certain ways. So it felt good to get out there and be on the mountain, because I do feel like I'm skilled at it. I just often pull the reins back more than maybe I need to. I don't know. But it just felt good. That's all I'm trying to say. Hello. How you doing? Doing great. Pinnacle came out with a new flavor. Jambalaya with blackened chicken, Cajun sausage, rice, and bell peppers. I'm gonna try it for the first time tonight. Probably really hard to see. That one came out nice. That's a good jambalaya. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pretty epic day. I am so exhausted. I am really ready for this cozy night here. It's just after 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a nice, long night, no alarms. It's going to be a great night of sleep. See you in the morning, everybody.
This wind is crazy tonight. It really picked up pretty much right as I went to bed. I actually set my camera out to do some time lapsing and scurried back out to pull it in because the wind is just crazy. Unfortunately, it's making it rather difficult to sleep. It's just blowing so hard. The tent's not shaking too bad, which is impressive, but just the noise. It's so loud.
Well, it was so windy last night, and it was definitely hard to sleep. Just the constant, like, freight train coming in. You could hear it ripping up the mountain and it through the bowl. Pretty wild. But I was cozy. I was definitely warm. I was like too warm. I was fully expecting this trip to be down in the teens. The forecast was calling for some cold temperatures, and I think it was just wrong. But it's beautiful out here. It's feeling very fall vibes out here going on. I picked up this like instant coffee from Whole Foods, and it's complete trash. It's terrible coffee. I got all excited because I thought I found a cool deal. It was just bad. It's lovely out here today, though. Well, it's time to start packing up. I'm gonna be hitting the trail as soon as I can. Well, my friends, that was a glorious fall weather backpacking trip. I'm really excited to be able to get out here and be in this zone probably one last time before winter sets in. I think, it could be snowing and socked in with winter just around the corner, like in the next week or two. So, really got lucky with the weather. Like, it was much more mild and warm than I expected it to be. But hopefully also like the concepts of what I was talking about will help you if you have like 3-season gear getting into the colder temps and into the 4-season realm of backpacking. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments below. I'd love answering as many questions as I can. I am frequently off filming and doing these trips, so I do the amount of comments, well, I'm thrilled with, but I can't always get to all of them, and I apologize for that. If you haven't subscribed here to the channel, it really helps. Any creator you enjoy, it's one of the easiest and best ways to support a channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe here. And thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. I'm going to hike out of here, everybody. See you later.